Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This year, I've got the privilege to introduce you to the portfolio of ChemAxon. So I will start in the middle, but before I would like to give you a short summary of what we are going to talk about. So the presentation will be divided into two parts. The first part will be about our vision, the directions ChemAxon is facing and going to move in the near future, as we believe cheminformatics should evolve. And the second part will be about the actual products that we are all interested in, I assume. So I would like to start with a short story about how development and innovation works at ChemAxon. And if you have already had projects with us, then you know that we very often ask the question, why? So I just cherry-picked a few client feedback here to explain this further. The first one is, I'd like to draw a synthesis scheme. So we ask the question, why? What would you like to do? Or another one, when I optimize a lead, I am testing my ideas by trial and error. Why? What is your approach? What do you like to achieve? And finally, I would like to go with ChemAxon. Are you compatible with my favorite ELN? Why? What is your workflow? So why are we asking all these why questions? It's all about a very simple scheme, a very simple idea that innovation can be described by this scheme, what is called golden circle. It was introduced by Simon Sinek, who is a motivational speaker and corporate consultant. And you may have came across one of his videos. He has some on TED Talks, and you can find those on YouTube. And the idea is that for all the innovation, the core is, the basis is to understand the why, the motivation, the purpose, the belief behind a certain request. And this is what we also would like to understand. What is your motivation? What is your purpose? So that we can better serve you. So with this very short kickoff, I would like to proceed to our vision. The first one is no boundaries in chemistry drawing. We believe that it's very important to be able to create nice and vivid figures, graphs that are of chemical content, with rich content, also including chemistry. And we also understand that Marvin.js, our web component, is currently leaves a void behind in this aspect. So we would like to rethink chemistry drawing at ChemAxon and improve your drawing experience by enhancing Marvin.js with lots of new features, or the future Marvin, the future web Marvin, by enabling you to insert images, shapes, or custom arrows into your chemical drawings, or to allow to be able to create multi-step reaction schemes, for example, because we understand that this is important for you, or allow you to benefit from a built-in structure checker. If this sounds interesting and you would like to know more about the future of chemical drawing at ChemAxon, then please stay tuned for the upcoming talk delivered by Effie Hoffman, or you can also talk to her during one of the Picnic with the PO sessions. Fast thinking requires fast responses. So we understand that when you innovate, when you think about something, when you try to improve something, then ideas and thoughts can come very fast at a high pace. That's hence the word brainstorming, right? They just storm like that. And for that, to test all these ideas, you need quick responses, so that if an idea is not worth further consideration, then you can just move forward. And for this, we are always seeking new challenges to create better and faster search engines. and not just faster, but also we are experimenting with interesting techniques like chemical search in graph databases. So what are these graph databases? They have been around for a while, but they have gained significant interest in the past few years because of their unique way of storing data. So in a graph database, every piece of information is stored based on its connection or relationship to other pieces of data in the database. And this kind of structure opens up new opportunities which would otherwise be hidden in a relational data model. We are also working on distributed search, which will allow to search really large data sets. You can think of data sets as large as billions of structures. And we are also thinking about, even though we are aware that there is no such thing as chemistry in big data, but there is a chemistry part of big data, which we are also interested in. So if this sounds interesting for you as well, or exciting as well, then please have a chat with András Wolfort, who is the product owner of the JChem search family, search technologies. And he will also have a talk in the afternoon, as you will see in the agenda. Ideas and inspiration come anytime, anywhere. Being over lunch or in the bathroom while having a shower. These ideas are worth capturing, and if you don't do it, then they might just slip away and never come back. So it's really important that you capture an idea whenever it's in your head. And even though probably with the bathroom situation we cannot help you, because for that you would need a waterproof laptop or a tablet, and ChemAxon is not the company to develop that. But what we can help you with is high availability services. So, because these high availability services are already part of our lives, just think about your personal life, your emailing habits, how you use your social network. And if it's so much part of our personal life, why wouldn't it be part of our professional life and work as well? So we are thinking about here a place where a service where you can immediately capture your observations, your hypotheses, along with structural and non-structural analytical information, and do all this in a secure and highly available cloud environment. And even though lots of the parts that your workflow might require, lots of the components that your workflow might require are already in place, but we understand that there are some missing pieces. So instead of having all those missing pieces, we would like to provide an environment for you to cherry-pick those missing pieces. And this cloud environment is ChemAxon Synergy, which is our application integration platform. And it encourages a multi-vendor best-of-breed system, so that combined with our consultancy service, you can integrate the solution best suited for you. If you'd like to know more about this product, then please find Csaba Pelc about Synergy as well as about our cloud solutions. Information should enable and not overwhelm. We also believe that available knowledge is growing very fast. And as scientists, we have to look at that information as much as possible, gather all the information, gather all the knowledge, so that we can make the best decisions based on that available information. But many times, there's so much out there that it's really difficult to look at the relevant information and get the relevant information at the right time. So just imagine the situation. These are just a few examples about the publicly available or the subscription-based chemical databases out there, just a few of them. And imagine that you have a scientific question and you have to look up the information in all of these. And some are significantly overlapping with others. They all have different structure and different user interface. So it's not an easy task and definitely not a pleasant task. So what if instead we could search an arbitrary number of chemical data using a single user interface? If this sounds interesting to you and it feels like answering a question, a problem that you already have, then please find Norbert Schasch in one of the picnic with the PO sessions, or maybe over a coffee break as well. Just tell him the password, haystack, and he will listen to you for sure. So with this last slide, I would like to finish the first part of my presentation. So this was about our vision, how we see the directions for ChemAxon in the upcoming years, and now your well-earned portfolio of what we have to offer in 2019. I'm sure most of you are very well familiar with this scheme of the drug discovery cycle. You saw it many, many times. This is just another depiction of it. And I believe that it's not only applies to drug discovery, but it also applies to any kind of chemical discovery workflows. It consists of 4 simple steps, or 4 stages: design, make, test, and analyze. And for all these stages, ChemAxon has some functionalities to offer. For chemical design, we offer sketchers, of course, to draw the compound, as well as physicochemical property calculators to get some idea based on the structure how that will behave in your experiments. And we also offer a live drug design platform with instant feedback to make ideation a more efficient process. Once you have synthesized your compounds, then those compounds and the structure has to be stored in a consistent way with an identifier which can track it through the entire workflow. For that, we offer small and large molecule registration, as well as we offer chemical compliance application for checking whether a compound is controlled or not, so that you can comply with local legislation. For test, once you gather your data, we offer data storage, assay data and biological data registration systems, as well as chemical search to be able to interrogate that data set. And finally, for the analysis stage, we offer visualization tools as well as reporting tools. So for this talk, I tried to group the available products into 5 major categories. These are arbitrary categories. We will talk about structure search, drug discovery, drug design and discovery, chemistry in documents, Markush technologies, and finally, online education, which is a new product line for ChemAxon. So, for structure search, I'm sure many of you are familiar with the JChem family. Probably the best known member of the JChem family is JChem Base, which we started to develop some 20 years ago, so it's a mature product now. But it's still very popular and very robust search engine, and it has a superior chemistry, so this is what it makes different from other search engines out there. But of course, just like evolution does not stop, we don't stop development either. So we came up with a significantly faster second-generation search engine, which is also providing you with a relevant sorted result set. So instead of just getting your results, your search hits in a random order, with these you can get your hits in a relevant sorted, more similar coming first. And this second-generation search engine is the beating heart of our cartridge technologies, the JChem Postgres cartridge and the new product, the Coral Oracle cartridge. They both have the conveniency feature that we call hit as you draw. So as you draw your structure in your query tool, you can immediately get the most similar results from your database because they are that fast. We also offer JChem microservices, which is also a new product. It is a scalable modular webcam informatics application or set of tools, and it's best suited for the development of web applications. For more like an exploratory search, when you would like to use more options for similarity metrics and molecular descriptors, then we offer you the MatFast Similarity Search Suite, which is an ultra-fast in-memory chemical search engine. It supports various similarity metrics, as I said, and also tons of molecular descriptors, including your own developed descriptor. And it has a really fast speed. It has a response time of 80 milliseconds on a 60 million database to return 40 hits in a test. And it has 5 seconds response time on a 1 billion set. So it's really considerably faster than others. If MedFast and its capabilities sound interesting to you, or you would like to know more about it, then please have a chat with Gábor Imre, who is the product owner of MedFast. For drug design and discovery, of course, the process starts with chemistry drawing. For that, we offer Marvin Sketch for publication quality drawing in a desktop environment, as well as we offer Marvin.js, which is our chemical drawing browser component. Both of these provide the best experience for small molecules. But if you have larger molecules, so what we are talking about here is over several hundred or maybe over 1,000 atoms per molecule, then you probably need a different type of representation. So this leads us to the macromolecule world. What are these macromolecules? So macromolecules are large molecules which can be best described as the polymer molecule or polymer structure of small monomers. And these macromolecules are very often of biological origin or modified from their similar parts appearing in nature. And so you can think of like DNA, which is our genetic material and is made up of nucleotides, or peptides, which are made up of amino acids. Or you can think of molecules as large as an entire protein or even a virus. But it's not only the sheer size of the molecule that requires this different type of representation or might require a different type of representation. Because if you look at this molecule here, cyclosporine, then you can see it's not a very large molecule, but it has this cyclic structure, and it's really difficult to depict the actual monomers, how they are connected. And even if there is a modification, it's really hard to see where the modification is. So a much better representation is based on the already mentioned monomer structure. You see it here. So this is how we can represent such a molecule at ChemAxon. And these tools are called macromolecular biologics tools. So for editing such structures, we offer BioEdi, which is our monomer-based large molecule editor. It comes with a built-in monomer library, so you can straight away start to compose your structures. But we are also looking at a proof of concept for agnostic registration, which will allow you to register small as well as large molecules in the same system. If this is something that you were looking for, then please find Roland Nispel, who is the product owner of structure registration at ChemAxon, and he will also have a talk about small molecule registration later on. For molecule design, we offer you Marvin Live, which is our live drug design platform. It gives you instant feedback, so as you draw your structures, you remember fast thinking requires fast responses. Our search capabilities give you straight away response to your drawing as you modify your structure in this Marvin Live environment. So, for example, you can look up immediately data from a database, activity data maybe, or you can bring in similar structures to drive your thinking. As well as you can also calculate some medicinal chemistry properties like log-P, log-D, for which we provide the predictors. And once you have your starting ideas, you may want to create some variation in it. Would like to diversify your compound series. For that, Plexus Design might be useful, which is a scaffold and reaction-based enumeration tool. If you would like to know more about how we see the future of drug design in terms of chemical software, then please have a chat with András Strác, who is the product owner of Marvin Live. The next step is to capture all your information, structural and non-structural information, and then create reports and visualize your data. And for that, we offer our compound and assay data management solution, which has 3 components integrated into it: compound registration for the already mentioned small molecule registration, Plexus Connect with the new charts extension for creating vivid and live figures, responsive figures, and to create structure-activity relationship tables. As well as we offer ChemAxon Assay, which is a standardized assay data uploader for your biological data. If you would like to know more, then please stay tuned for tomorrow's talk on the topic, delivered by Lenka Kardova, Csaba Pelc, and Miklós Szabó. We will also have, after that talk, a workshop session where you can actually try our compound and assay data management solution. For chemistry in documents, we offer 2 directions. To find chemistry, ChemLocator can be a good pick, because ChemLocator, just imagine that you have to look up a chemical structure, a chemical name in all the documents that you have access to. Think of patents in PDFs, maybe peer-reviewed papers, or even internal reports by your company in a Word format. How would you do that? It's surely a different task and probably takes quite a long time. But with ChemLocator, you can index all these documents, extract the chemical names, convert them into a structure, also extract the structures as images, and build a structural database, a searchable structural database with link to the original documents, so that you can immediately get the documents that contain that structure or similar structures. If this sounds like something that solves a problem for you, then please find Dávid, who is the product owner of ChemLocator. For inserting chemistry into your documents, JChem for Office is an excellent choice. It can create rich chemistry content in Word, PowerPoint, Excel, as well as Outlook. In Excel, you even get access to our cheminformatics calculators. We are also developing JChem for Office Online for those who are interested in cloud platforms or document management platforms in the cloud, Office Online. And we are also working on JChem for Office Lite, JChem for Office Lite, which is an invisible vendor-independent chemistry add-on to Word, PowerPoint, and Outlook. It's basically to replace the OLE technology so that you can copy from any vendor's chemical editor into your document, and once in the document, using effortlessly and actually seamlessly, JChem for Office Lite will always open that object in the most suitable editor. If it's not the original editor, it will still try to find the most suitable editor. So it's quite useful in that sense. Our first product category is Marcus Technologies. What is a Marcus structure? I'm sure most of you are familiar with it, so just very quickly, a Marcus structure consists of 2 parts. One is a scaffold, which describes the common part of compounds, because a Marcus structure always describes related compounds or an entire or a larger chemical space. And the rest is the Marcus definition, which together with the scaffold defines the boundaries of the chemical space described by the Marcus structure. So where are the Marcus structures used? They are very often used in IP documents, so in intellectual property protection, like in patents, as well as they become useful when trying to cover legislative documents or legislation for controlled substances, for example. So when it comes to patents, then we offer ChemCreator as a patent analysis tool. With ChemCreator, you can immediately recreate semi-manually the Marcus claim in a patent. So once you have that Marcus structure, then you can run searches against that Marcus structure with your own compound series and find out whether a particular compound is covered by that patent. And for legislation, we offer compliance checker, which also uses Marcus technology to summarize the legislative information in terms of controlled substances. We're not only providing the search engine, but also the knowledge base that gives you the possibility to create reports whether a compound is controlled or not. There will be, by the way, an application study about a compliance checker tomorrow. Our last product category is online education, which, as I mentioned in the beginning, is a completely new field for ChemAxon. Here, we are providing Zosimos, which is a content-independent quiz framework. First of all, with Zosimos, we would like to assist our publisher partners so that they can create better chemical quizzes. And also, with Zosimos, we would like to target education, like teachers, professors, as well as study groups or students, so that they can create their own quizzes to improve their chemical knowledge, to make teaching and learning chemistry more fun. If this sounds interesting, then please find the product owner of Zosimos, Erika Bíró. With this last product, I would like to, I reached sort of the end of the portfolio for today. So I would like to give you just some closing thoughts or some take-home message. So if you remember from the beginning, we believe at ChemAxon that fast thinking requires fast responses. And for that, we are continuously improving our chemical search, not only in terms of speed, but also in terms of relevance, so that the hits, the answers that you get are more relevant. And we also understand the trends which are towards cloud technologies, and therefore we are also creating intuitive cloud applications for drug discovery, because ideas may come anytime, anywhere. And finally, with our flexible consultancy service, we'd like to allow you to create any workflow, any workflow applications or solutions that suit your needs the best way by configuring the available ChemAxon tools or actually looking at external third-party ones. So just a few closing remarks. When I was preparing for this presentation today, you may have noticed that the main theme of this year's UGM is superheroes. You can see the badges, they have that superhero title, and you can also see that the decoration is somewhat resembling a cartoony theme. So when I was preparing for my presentation, someone came to me and asked, what are the superpowers of ChemAxon? So I started thinking, and it was obvious that we are very strong at chemistry. So chemistry makes us different for sure. But then I continued thinking, and I also thought that we are also great at giving access to our knowledge, to our documentation and application programming interfaces, so the integration points for our integrators, for our partners. And this is probably why ChemAxon is among the first choices of integrators. And then I came across a few user feedback, client feedback. Some of those I cherry-picked for the first slide, if you remember. And then from that, I realized that actually it's you, our clients. You are our superpowers. Because by providing you with your feedback, we can build on all that. And asking these why questions, we can improve our software so that it best suits your requirements. So with this, I'd like to thank you for your attention, and I wish you a pleasant and interesting 1.5 days on this UGM. Thank you.